Okay. Okay, I think we are live. Okay. Good afternoon, leaders. I hope you are well. And I see you are all connected to your audio. So I was just saying in the beginning of the presentation today that, it's always important. Uguti, this thing, sure. Just do a check. Uguti, whatever that I'm teaching, people buy a Okay. So before I dwell into that, can I just get an indication? Umjali no Dibu. Can I just get an indication? Are you guys already existing members, the Evorich? Or you have been referred to join the presentation today? Can I just get an indication from you guys? You can type on the chat or you can unmute yourself just to save time. Are you new? Are you an already existing member? Are you part of Evorich? Is this your first time on this meeting? You see? The one again, Dibu got intimidated. He or she left the meeting. But it's important to engage with your people because it doesn't have to be a one-way thing, Otherwise, we are not satisfying that thing. People understand or people do not understand what we are talking about. What are we saying? It's important. It has to be a two-way. Be sure. Am I doing a good job or do I need to improve somewhere? Excuse me. Yaban? All right. Mjali is an old member. Maria Matibela, I know her. No leader truly. Okay, we'll just see as we go. All right. So thank you all for being here. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm not gonna do a proper presentation today, but we're just gonna talk. Okay. Okay. All right. So welcome to the presentation today. Today is the 25th of March, 2022, and I'm your host for today or for now. My name is Evorich. I'm the office manager. Just a couple of minutes after 12 p.m. Central African time or South African time. So we are talking about Evorich, and we are also talking about a new product or a new project that we have just embarked on, that we have just unlocked and started as a company. As you all know, we are a multi-level crowd investing company. We specialize in that. Okay. And what does that mean? We'll talk about that. You all know me by now. I'm not gonna say much about. Please hold on a sec for me. My apologies. Okay, so this is me. All right, this is me. This is the person that's always doing the presentation, the business presentation, be it whatever. My name is Evorich. I'm a student of life. Guys, it's important for me to always be learning. I can never stop learning in my life. Every single day of my life, I'm learning something new. Every single day. I don't know everything. And I don't want to know everything. I want to keep learning because that keeps me going. You see? I don't know everything. So take it from me. And I also believe and hope that you are of the same, you have to share the same sentiments. Life is a journey. We're learning every single day. Not just about business, but life as a whole. Okay. So that's me in a nutshell. I don't want to talk about myself, but let's now talk about our own business, just as a reminder. Okay. So the three pillars, what makes our business or this ideology new, the new economic evolution of the world. Okay, we want to implement this new economic evolution of the world, but there's a lot of work that needs to take place. We need to implement certain things, okay, to get there. First, you need to understand what is new economic evolution of the world. I want to play a video, just a video that that will explain to you and like an example of what new is, okay? Just bear with me. I'm just going to find it quickly. I just want to find it quickly. Please bear with me. I want to play that video for you, okay? So that you guys know what is it is. Okay, maybe before I play the video, let's play a game, okay? For those that are here, if you understand what is it, this ideology, the new economic evolution of the world, okay? I want you guys to let me stop sharing for now. If you can, in your own understanding, what is the new economic evolution of the world? What does it mean? What does this new economic evolution of the world mean to you? As whoever you are, you can just unmute yourself. I just want to see that people understand what it is. Angie keeps vanishing. Welcome back, Ndibu. Just between the five of us, okay? What is the new economic evolution of the world in your own understanding? You don't have to be right, because we're learning every single day. Anyone? Yeah, please. It's fine.
To my understanding, it's in general, I would say it's the changing of the way we live, the changes of the ways we make money, the changes that the world going forward. It's the changes of isn't it the, I don't know how to say this, but like if I can make an example, when we grow up, we were have to have a bank account, but now we are using internet. We got our app. We are using cell phones. So it's the evolution. That's what I think. It's the new evolution of the world. It's the way that the world is changing.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. So the evolution, it evolved.
From our apps, we are going digital now. So it's changing. The evolution, I think it means we are changing the system going forward. The system going forward. That's how I see it, or that's how I understand it.
Yes, you're correct. You're correct. There's just one element that's missing there. Okay, the economic. So it's specifically saying the change.
Oh, economics, yeah.
Exactly. So that's what makes the economy. What makes the economy? It's day-to-day activities that contribute towards the economy. So how can we as a community contribute towards the economy is what this company is trying to help us to get to. We are changing the system because the world is made up of a system, okay? Every day, worldwide, not in South Africa only, everywhere, we are living inside a system. I don't think I have this. We are living inside a system. So maybe I should just do a YouTube search. Please bear with me. We are living inside a system, and this system is designed to make the economy uneven. The economy is there and is producing enough resources to feed the entire universe or the entire population of the world. But it's somehow skewed. It's like this. So there's others that belong in the bottom and others that belong at the top. Not belong by choice, but belonging because of the past, what happened in the past, and how did we even get here? It's a topic for another day. Okay. So what new? The ideology of new is to try and bring back, if it's standing like this, it's a scale, right? Try to even it out, redistribute the wealth, because the world has got enough wealth to feed the entire population of the world. Okay. So how do we do it? As a community. We didn't start by becoming a community. We didn't become a community by just like that. When we woke up, we were an Evorich community. We started somewhere, isn't it? It started small. So that's why I always say it's very important. I'm trying to find this video of Hauchi. Please bear with me for now. I think I'm gonna find it. Aha. So I'm coming to it. I'm gonna find it now. I played it. I have a video of it, but I don't know where I put it. That's why I'm searching on YouTube. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna play it. Let me share my screen so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I'm trying to paint a scenario here.
Province named the Huaxi, which claims to be China's #1 village in the eyes of many. Finds the village with its red. There is a village in China's eastern Jiangsu province named the Huaxi, which claims to be China's #1 village in the eyes of many. Finds the village with its residents living in big houses and driving luxury cars. So how did such a tiny village develop dramatically over the past decades? Xu Deming reports. Looking at this village, you might be forgiven for thinking that you were not at a countryside in China. Big houses line up, fancy cars everywhere. There's even a 5-star hotel for tourists. And that's just the tip of an iceberg. The village owns a listed group with over 100 subsidiaries, earning tens of billions yuan in revenue every year. The group owns companies that cover almost all sectors, from traditional industries like steel and manufacturing to cutting-edge technologies like chip making. Huaxi Village is in tackling poverty and seeking ways to build prosperity. But can the growth path of this village become an example for other villages across China? I talked with Mr. Wu Xian, the secretary of the CPC Huaxi Village Committee, who is also the chairman of the Huaxi Group. There is no saying in China, nothing is impossible, and it all depends on man. And that man in Huaxi Village was our late secretary, Wu Renbao. With his leadership, many talented people joined him to make a change. Huaxi Village and its enterprises thrive on the back of China's fast expanding industrial sector. And the village massive business giant rose from a small factory, which was founded by a group of villagers in Huaxi. Back then, the villagers could not get a bank loan to fund the factory. But that didn't stop the late secretary Wu Renbao. He went from door to door to explain to every family why it was important for them to chip in. Secretary Wu hoped to serve the local people and lead them to more prosperity. That was his lifelong commitment. Through years of efforts and hardships, along with unstoppable reform and the introduction of professionals, Huaxi Group continued growing full speed ahead. Each villager now enjoys an average yearly income of over 100,000 yuan. That includes salaries as employees, bonus as villagers, and dividends as shareholders. Their annual income is 10 times that of an ordinary rural villager. Huaxi Village now earns a reputation of the #1 village in China, and it has become a case study for many Chinese officials and business leaders as they learn how this village grew from almost nothing 55 years ago to the mega rich that it is today. But as China's economy shifts gear and other urgent issues like environmental pollution and overcapacity emerge, how will this large-scale company cope with these challenges? We started to conduct research and market analysis in 2000. We found that risks emerge when traditional industries seek expansion through reinvestment in the Yangtze River Delta region. Labor costs, land costs were rising greatly. A more urgent issue is the worsening environmental pollution. Led by Secretary Wu, Huaxi Group is now seeking new growth engines. Based on our condition, we decided to seek new opportunities in the services sector. The group has expanded to cover areas in finance, investment, logistics, maritime engineering, and wholesale agricultural products. Huaxi hopes to allow more Chinese villages to prosper. In the past decade, they trained over 400,000 grassroots level officials in over 20 provinces across China. But Secretary Wu says he hopes these officials can learn what's beneath the miraculous development, for them to find their own way to prosperity and not simply duplicate Huaxi Village's model. Xing Zhiming, CCTV, Huaxi Village, Jiangsu Province.
Okay, so we have seen this, right? Is it making sense? Are you getting something out of this, that video? I just want to check with you guys. Is there something that you are learning from that? I like using that one because I don't have to explain it much, but I just want to hear from you guys. Is it making sense? Do you see what's happening there? Anyone? There's no right, there's no wrong answer. There's no stupid question. There's no stupid comment. We're just talking so that I can see that you guys understand the vision and the mission of your company. Yes, Mchal.
Yeah, thanks, my leader. Although I just forgot my earphones, so some of the things I didn't hear exactly. But I think they show us how they can develop from like it's a village, but whatever they've done, it looks better than that. It doesn't look like it's just a normal village, but it looks now as a big city. So I think there's a way that they use to develop their country quicker than like we do here in Africa. Actually, by looking at the video, not even hearing exactly because I don't have my earphones, then I've got that problem because I don't hear everything.
Yeah.
That's what I can say. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Anybody else? Let's talk. Let's just talk. I'm going somewhere with this, so I need you guys to engage with me. We are going somewhere. I'm trying to clarify, you know, there's a gray area that I'm picking up that it's not everybody understanding what's going on. Okay. Yes, Leader Tuli?
Sorry for being talkative today.
No, it's okay. I need you to be talkative. Yes. You're going to be a presenter. You're going to be a presenter, so you need to know what you're talking about, right?
I think this is what we are doing in South Africa, but we are not aware of it. I think that city, with my understanding, they made something like a stock fair. So they decided, I don't know whether they bought shares together or they did what, but whatever they did, they make sure that everybody is getting like if we plan to get 100 rand, then everybody is getting the same thing. They're getting the same car. They're getting the same everything that is equal. So to me, it's reminded of us Africans. We like this thing that is called the stokvel, but ours is different because we are not going into the economy, but we are buying things instead of going into the economy.
Yeah.
Yeah, bo.
Yeah.
So I think this is how I understand it. This is how it sounded to me.
Mhm. Mhm.
It
Hello,
looked
Zoe.
like they did something like that.
Leader Zoe, can I ask you to connect your audio, please? We are having a discussion here today, but thank you, Leader Tuli, for that input. Okay. I want to hear your understanding, each one of you, right? Please don't feel intimidated. Don't feel guilty. You don't know anything. Whatever that you saw from that video, I need you to just tell me what is it that you saw. But Leader Zoe, I will forgive her for now because of she came in late. She didn't see the video, so I'm going somewhere with this. Ndibu, can you maybe unmute yourself and or user Zoom user or Mam Maria, any one of you, just to tell me what is it that you saw in that video?
Yeah, okay. I think what Tuli was saying, I think those people, what they did, they bought shares like we do, and then they build an electricity generators and stuff for the village. And then when they pay, like, okay, at the end of the day, they must use that electricity and they pay. And at the end of the day, they know that they can get that dividend themselves. So that at the end of the day, everybody will be happy because they get money and then they also pay their bills every day. And there will be nobody that cannot say, I won't pay, because they know that if they pay, at the end of the day, all of them, they will get that dividend. I think that's how it works.
Okay, all right. Noted. I've noted both. Mam Maria, you had your mic unmuted. Can you just tell us what your understanding is from that video? Or Ndibu or Zoom user?
Hi, my leader.
Good afternoon, my leader.
I
Ungakhuluma
saw.
nesiZulu ngiyasizwa kodwa I'm not good in speaking Zulu. I try, but ungakhuluma nesiZulu understande ini. Mam Thuli, nawe please don't feel intimidated ngesilungu sami. Naki Motswana, so my Zulu is not polished. I try to speak it, but it's not polished. Ngiyatry nje. Nizongixolela.
Uyazi ukukhuluma iqiniso nje. Ngi-lost ngoba eqaleni nje bengezwa nje nokuthi kuthiwani. I just watched the video, but sometimes ukubona nje i-video but ungazwisisi ukuthi kwenzakalani, uba more lost.
Okay, so what I'll do, I will spare another 4 minutes. I'll play the video again, okay?
Okay.
Just so that I'm going somewhere with this, guys. Please, I'm trying to instill some understanding in you about the business that you are currently in. I need you are all already existing members. So I want to teach you something from this video, okay? And Dibu says she cannot unmute herself. Zoom user, can you kindly unmute yourself, my dear? Just, or do you want me guys to play the video first? Again, so that uzobi now, they say we start talking. I'm gonna play it again, no problem. Can I play it again? Okay, I'll play it again. Let me play it again.
There is a village in China's eastern Jiangsu province named Evorich, which claims to be China's #1 village. In the eyes of many, finds the village with its residents living in big houses and driving luxury cars. So how did such a tiny village develop dramatically over the past decades? Xing Jiaming reports. Looking at this village, you might be forgiven for thinking that you were not at a countryside in China. Big houses line up, fancy cars everywhere. There's even a 5-star hotel for tourists. And that's just the tip of an iceberg. The village owns a listed group with over 100 subsidiaries, earning tens of billions yuan in revenue every year. The group owns companies that cover almost all sectors, from traditional industries like steel and manufacturing to cutting-edge technologies like chip making. Huaxi Village is in tackling poverty and seeking ways to build prosperity. But can the growth path of this village become an example for other villages across China? I talked with Mr. Wu Xian, the secretary of the CBC Huaxi Village Committee, which is also the chairman of the Huaxi Group. There is no saying in China, nothing is impossible, and it all depends on man. And that man in Huaxi Village was our late secretary, Wu Renbao. With his leadership, many talented people joined him to make a change. Huaxi Village and its enterprises thrive on the back of China's fast expanding industrial sector. And the village massive business giant rose from a small factory, which was founded by a group of villagers in Huaxi. Back then, the villagers could not get a bank loan to fund the factory. But that didn't stop the late secretary Wu Renbao. He went from door to door to explain to every family why it was important for them to chip in. Secretary Wu hoped to serve the local people and lead them to more prosperity. That was his lifelong commitment. Through years of efforts and hardships, along with unstoppable reform and the introduction of professionals, Huaxi Group continued growing full speed ahead. Each villager now enjoys an average yearly income of over 100,000 yuan. That includes salaries as employees, bonus as villagers, and dividends as shareholders. Their annual income is 10 times that of an ordinary rural villager. Huaxi Village now earns a reputation of the #1 village in China, and it has become a case study for many Chinese officials and business leaders as they learn how this village grew from almost nothing 55 years ago to the mega rich that it is today. But as China's economy shifts gear and other urgent issues like environmental pollution and overcapacity emerge, how will this large-scale company cope with these challenges? We started to conduct research and market analysis in 2000. We found that risks emerge when traditional industries seek expansion through reinvestment in the Yangtze River Delta region. Labor costs, land costs were rising greatly. A more urgent issue is the worsening environmental pollution. Led by Secretary Wu, Huaxi Group is now seeking new growth engines. Based on our condition, we decided to seek new opportunities in the services sector. The group has expanded to cover areas in finance, investment, logistics, maritime engineering, and wholesale agricultural products. Huaxi hopes to allow more Chinese villages to prosper. In the past decade, they trained over 400,000 grassroots level officials in over 20 provinces across China. But Secretary Wu says he hopes these officials can learn what's beneath the miraculous development, for them to find their own way to prosperity and not simply duplicate Huaxi Village's model. Xin Zhiming, CCTV, Huaxi Village, Jiangsu Province.
Okay. All right, I hope that helped. Okay. Good afternoon, Clarias. You can unmute yourself, sir. Let's have a chat.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
We are fine. How are you, sir?
I'm also fine.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I played this video, right? This is the second time I'm playing it, but you just came in. So this video is saying something about a country or a village called Haoqi in China. So I'm going somewhere with this. There's a reason why I'm playing it. I'm trying to paint a scenario in your minds so that you know, okay? I don't know how far you heard, but what is it that you got from this video that I played?
Yeah, I got here very late, but it's like there were some developments in China, and out of nowhere, somehow a village was started by organizing. It's a pity I did not have the background of the story, but I saw a very big city. I mean,
Yeah, sorry. I just muted Indigo. I'm going to give you a chance to speak. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what I think I saw is that there was something organized by whoever, I don't know, I did not get the beginning of the video, but I caught it towards the end where the secretary is translating to the interviewer how they managed this city that came out of nowhere. I don't know how they planned it. I don't know how they funded it, but it seems like a very beautiful city because I saw from the aerial point of view, houses are many there within the trees, and it's like a very beautiful location.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. At least you got in, but you saw something, right? That's what matters. Can I ask Ndibu? Sorry, I muted you earlier because there was some background noise. Can you just unmute yourself again, please? The same button that you pressed. I see you've got your hand up. Yes.
Okay. As for me, I didn't hear well all of the audio and what was said, but what I've learned through those pictures is that bit by bit, if you are ready and well collective and you have more information, you can make it as what China did according to the understanding, the little bit understanding that you've got. You just have to work as a team. And working as a team, it doesn't mean that you won't achieve what you want to achieve. It only means that you can build all together. And from building all together, you will reach where you want to, where you want to reach. So as China as it was, it didn't have a lot of, let me say, developments. So what they managed to do is sit as a group, and then they agreed on one thing, and then they built everything in a good and mannered way. That's what I've learned, and that's what I've seen.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Zoe, do you want to unmute yourself? Or you're battling? Zoom user comes and goes. Okay. All right, let me give you the link to this recording, okay? I'm sharing it with you so that you guys can listen to it again, okay? So I'm giving it to you guys. All right. Okay. That's today's recording. You're gonna learn something from this particular video, okay? So there's a lot of people that don't understand our business. And I use, Zoe, did you unmute yourself? You can unmute yourself again, please. Zoom user, you can also unmute yourself. I want to just make sure that you guys are getting it, okay? Don't feel pressured. Just whatever you saw. There's no right or wrong answer, okay? Because it's a video that I just came across, okay? And I like using that because it resonates back to what we are doing inside this company, to the vision or the mission of the new economic evolution of the world. It's still an idea. It's an ideology. We want to get there. Okay, so I'm going to teach you something. Okay, here's what's happening. Does any one of you know who Andrei Kovratov is? Do you guys know who Andrei Kovratov is? You don't know him, curious. Okay. You don't know him, okay? Sis Tuli, you know who Andrei Kovratov is?
Umqali nje webhizinisi lethu laka-South Skyway wabuya wakhuphuka nathi waya ka-New from uNew wavula API education lesinayo laphaya. Ngaxoxa kuze kushona ilanga ngo-Andrew, but kade CEO yethu. Angazi manje anginayo isho noma ngizwe kahle yini, bathe sephumile sekuzongena omunye abe yi-CEO. Uba uBob.
No, not really. Not really. It cannot be. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's leave that for now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Zoe, you keep unmuting yourself and muting yourself again. Muting. Angela. Mchali, did you have something to say?
No, I think Tuli gave the right answer.
Answer. Okay. So Ntate Clarius.
Okay.
Yes.
Andrei Kovratov is the founder of this company that we are in.
Oh.
He started everything from scratch, okay? But everything didn't start at new. Everything started at API, Academy of a Private Investor, okay?
Yes.
Then later on, he had a dream, a vision that he wanted to implement new. That is when Crypto Unit Program was born. He used Crypto Unit Program as a vehicle to accomplish the vision or the mission of new. You understand? So This is what's happening. I'm going to summarize what's in the video, okay? What's in the video is a community of people in China. It used to be a very small village. Those people were farmers. They were farmers, you know, farmers are farmers. They are literal, they are practical, they are farming. That's what they know. Everybody is farming there. They are producing their own food. They never thought that they would ever live in mansions like that. Okay, can I mute you for a second? Because there's some background noise. Okay.
Yeah.
So then they had never thought they could own mansions in their lives. They had never thought they could own some Land Rovers. You saw some Range Rovers and Land Rovers and big cars there. And they had never thought they would live in the situation, that circumstance that they're living in, ever in their life. But it all started from somebody's dream. That old man, I just don't know his name, but that old man with black teeth, you saw him, that old man. He is the Andre in our company. He had a dream. Welcome, Leader Sydney. He had a dream that because of the things that are happening in the world, like I spoke about the unevenness of the wealth distribution in the world, somebody has to come forth and fix it. Unless if we are all having the same mindset, we are all thinking alike, then we can jointly or together make a plan of changing the situation together and working together. Datem Jali has spoken a lot about togetherness, about unity, about teamwork, right? Usis Tulinai has also said a lot about teamwork, right? But it had to originate somewhere. You know, it's somebody's idea, but we have to implement it together as a unit. These people were farmers. Then things happen. Like I would use the same example as the corona, the world situation of coronavirus. It hit us when we didn't expect it, right? It doesn't take away, regardless of what I believe or what you believe, right? It doesn't take away the fact that the economy has crashed. So something has to be done, isn't it? So it happened back then, over 55 years ago. It happened. So economies, it's in their nature to collapse, to recover, collapse, recover. But when it collapses, it takes time before it can actually get back to where it needs to be, right? Depending on what had hit it at the time. So they lost their jobs, they lost their citizenships and whatever, everything, disasters that took place at the time. So he came up with an idea to build a village for them, because it was already a village, but it wasn't as developed. So this is what happened. He brought them together because they are the ones that are feeling the pain of suffering, of poverty. He brought them together as a community. You see how many households there are. There's a lot of them in that village. It's small, but it's a big village because of those houses. He brought them together, and then they shared the same vision. He told them, this is what I'm thinking we should do together. Then they came together, they started planning. There's no clear cut as to what exactly did they do to get there, but some work was done, all right? So Mina, I like using example here. Let's say it was us. We are all living in an area where there is no shops. We have to we have to go to town, meaning I have to commute to town. It takes me maybe 10 kilometers to get to town just to go and buy bread. So we come together as a community of that village, and we say there's a need for us to have a mall. Okay? When we're having this mall, it's for our own convenience. Okay? Now, when we are having this mall, it's for our own convenience. We won't have to travel far, because traveling far, we also incurring cost of getting there, isn't it? So for our own convenience, let's build this mall together. So Mina, I love using example Uguti. Assuming each and every household is able to contribute 1,000 rands a month. Okay? Let's say it's about 1,000 households, meaning houses. But each one of us, from wherever we are working, we are able to come together and contribute 1,000 rands every single month for the next 10 years, because a mall is not cheap to build. First, you have to buy the land, you have to buy the plan, get it passed, get some land surveyors, those are professionals, they're expensive, get builders, get everything, construction. It's not cheap, right? We will contribute before we even start building. Okay? After we have after we have contributed for those 10 years, there's no money coming into our pockets, right? But we know where we are going. If it happens during the 10 years, maybe the person in that household, they die, somebody has to take over, because it's a contract with that, because we all know where do we want to get to, right? After we have done that, the 10 years comes, assuming everything goes perfectly. 10 years comes, and then we have raised 10 million rands, as an example, right? Or 100 million. Then we can take the 100 million and start constructing. We need to follow the process. We need to hire project managers. We need to hire construction companies, land surveyors, blah, 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 all those things. Once we have done that, everything is fine, right? Once we have done that, the mall is erected, right? It's there. What's the next thing that we need to do as a community? Because we have spent money on this mall, money has to come back, isn't it? The same way as you have bought the education inside Evorich, you need some money to come back. You have invested in yourself. You have acquired some assets that need to bring money into your pocket, back into your pocket, isn't it? So here's the thing. Before you can even get the money, something has to happen. The mall is erected, it's there. It's vacant. We have built these shops, but they need to be populated. There needs to be some tenants. What's the next best thing to do? It's on us, because it's our mall. We own that mall as a community. We need to go out there and look for tenants, isn't it? We are going to look for tenants. Who are these tenants? Big companies like Edgar's, Woolworths, Foschini, blah, blah, blah. We bring them and we say, we have a mall. You can come and conduct your business right here. This is the rental payment. Isn't it what we are going to do? Who's paying us to do that? Nobody. Why are we not getting paid? Because it's for our own good. You understand? Because if the mall is there, we have to pay rates and taxes, right? We have to pay rates and taxes, isn't it? When we pay rates and taxes, it means the money is going out. There's no money coming in. So we need to find a way to get the money to come in. So we need to go out. It's on us to go and talk to Woolworths, Foschini, blah, blah, all these big corporate companies, Mr. Price, whatever, Pick and Pay, all of them to come and rent our mall. We don't want any vacant place. So it's on us to continuously market our own mall. Okay? Now, when we have gotten the tenants, what guarantee do we have that our tenants will stay there? There's no guarantee, because if a business is not making money, the tenant, if they're not making money, it's not possible for your tenant to pay rent. And the rent is what we are dependent on to become our income, meaning our dividends. Why dividends? Because we are the shareholders. So our shares will be evenly distributed and per household. Like you are hearing in that Hauchi thing, right? The households, each household is getting over 100,000. I don't know if it's dollars or in their own currency, in dividends every year. And it helps them to get by, to live, to buy food, to pay whatever that they need to do on a daily basis. So if we want to secure, normally we'd go and get Edgar's. Edgar's on a normal day, they will bring their own employees, isn't it? All they have to do is to pay you your rent. And we don't know if that Edgar's is going to do well to be able to sustain and maintain that rental. So the onus is still on our shoulders to make sure that the tenants will keep up with the bills. If we give them rental space in Uguti, they are paying 20,000 a month to rent this place, this particular place inside the mall, then they need to be consistent. Or now, on the other hand, we need to be making sure our lights and waters and sewage and everything, rates and taxes are paid for. But we cannot pay those things if there's no money coming in. And what will make the money to come in is when that business is doing well. If they're not doing well, they will move. They will close that shop and go and look for a cheaper rental place, isn't it? So now it comes back to us again as a community to say, how can we help you to stay in this business and to be able to keep up with the bills? How can we help you? We can help them by supporting their business. Meaning we need to go and buy from Edgar's. Us. You see? When we buy from them, it means there's a sale for that company. When there's a sale, they are able to keep up with the bills, meaning paying their employees and paying our rent, because the rent is what we really need from them, isn't it? The rental will go towards our dividends. If they cannot pay the rental, then our dividends will not meet the target that we want to meet on the dividends. So here's what the Hauchi community did differently, and what we at Evorich are also doing, is that we tell Edgar's, you're not going to hire anybody besides the people that live within the same community. We have about 1,000 households. If you're looking for 100 people to work at Edgar's, you hire our children. What are we doing? We are securing jobs for our own community at our own mall. A different company, but they are using our own mall. They need to train our kids, give them jobs. When this child is having a job, it means this family is fed again. Do you see? When this family is fed, it means there's cash flow inside the house. We can never go hungry. The dividends will be paid depending on the agreement, what we agree on as a community. It will be paid either once a month, every month, or every 3 months, every 6 months, or every year. Once a year. But it will make sense to sit maybe 6 months or a year. Then we say, at the end of the year, we need to know how much the targets of what have we made. We want to reach at least so much in terms of dividends per household. Give us 100,000 rands per household every year. That will help us to live, right? But meantime, we know somebody is hired in the house to go and work for Edgar's. The other one is hired at ShopRite. The other one is hired at Woolworths. The other one is hired at wherever. So there is no way we are running dry in terms of cash flow, because we invested, we believed in this vision that somebody in the community identified. We all bought into it and we all contributed. That is why we are shareholders. So what is this thing really doing? We have, one, tackled the biggest thing. We have eradicated poverty, meaning we are no longer poor. We are rich, and this is a generational thing. None of our kids in the future is going to become poor because of what we did. And obviously, it's not going to be an overnight thing. It can take a couple of years before we can actually meet those targets that we want. Remember, a mall, you can use it for different purposes. There will be shops, and then later on, we want to add people that are standing there, our clientele, to come and rent a small space inside the passages there, like to come and distribute their flyers on. They are paying for that space. Somebody comes and wants to do a function, for Christmas, for Father Christmas and whatever. They are hiring our space, isn't it? So money is coming in. It's coming in, and we get paid for believing in the idea in the form of dividends. You understand? You understand? This is a clear thing. Here's the difference between that practical example that I'm making, right? How she's doing the same. The same people that believed in this vision, they are the ones, when they open a factory, they are the ones that get hired. They're not hiring outside of their own community. They get hired, they work for those factories, and then when this factory has made enough money, they open another factory of some sort. Then they hire other people inside the same community. So do you see? It took them, if you listened to that thing, it said 55 years. It wasn't something that was achieved overnight. It took about 55 years. You understand? And it's not like you'll be dead by the time you enjoy. No, it took time. Not to say they got dividends in small portions according to their achievements every single year, right? And over time, it becomes better and better and better and better. With all this being said, I just want to bring you guys to the new economic evolution of the world. Do you understand? When we are able to achieve this thing, there's some education that we have acquired during the process. We will not be all be business people at the same time, but we have taken some education, some piece of education from that example, from that of Hauchi. So those people are not thinking like ordinary people that have money and then they go and spend their money carelessly, do irresponsible things with their money and not investing for their future. Do you understand? So when we are having that mindset, it means we were not trained. We didn't go to school for it. But with the practical thing that's happening, we are now absorbing that as a lesson. And it's the kind of education that you want to give your kids. Now you've become an entrepreneur subconsciously. You're not even aware. With us building them all together. You understand? So the difference between that example and the mall example and Hauchi is that we, on average, when we go and find people to buy into our business, be it API, be it Evorich, be it NDE, be it Genius of Finance, be it UGain, be it Evercent, be it whatever, right? We get paid for getting people to buy. Why do we want these people to buy into these companies, the products? It's so that this company, Evercent, can make money. When it makes money, it helps Evercent to contribute towards that dividends pot. Because what are we looking at? Us, the ones that started this whole thing. We are interested in the dividends, isn't it? We have CRUs, we have WCRUs, but we don't know. We are just holding them. But let me tell you something. They can be of value. They can start making a difference in our lives when these companies are making money. That is why we get profit bonuses and they're telling us, Uguti, we need to vote, blah, blah, blah. They didn't make as much money, enough money yet to give us the 100,000 that we desire. That is why it's important for us to understand these companies. You gain Global Unit Pay, UG Pay, Evercent, Academy of a Private Investor has always been there, Genius of Finance, Evorich, you name them, all these companies within our ecosystem. They didn't exist before the ideology of new, before the program Crypto Unit was executed. So Crypto Unit gave birth to all these entities. Now the entities are there. The mall is there. Evorich is the mall. Everything before you can get into Global Unit Pay. That is why you need to give people your Evorich referral link. So Evorich is the mall that I'm talking about. You see? And inside the mall, Evercent has to rent some space. Ugain has to rent some space. Global Unit Pay has to rent some space. All these entities that we know that fall within the ecosystem. You see? When they make money and decent money, that's when we can now say, hey, we have worked. But before they can make money, the onus is on us to open our mouths and advertise these businesses. Do you see? Otherwise, the one that has made money will give us 50% of their revenue, and it ends there because they've met their targets. Let's say it's Evercent in this instance. They've met their target. Now, if they've made 10 million in sales, as an example, then they take 50% of that. I'm talking revenue, right? 50% of that is 5 million. Then they take it, they put it into the dividends pot. So the affiliates of Evorich, the ones that own the WCRU, we will only be from the 5 million only. That is why we end up having over 20 cents, 10 cents, 5 cents, 1 cent in dividends. Because every other entity is not able to pay their rent. Is it making sense? These other entities haven't made enough money to contribute towards the dividends pot. Ideally, how much do you want to get in your dividends, from your dividends? Because you're a co-owner in the global investment portfolio. And this includes all those entities, those ecosystem, the whole entire ecosystem. It has to make money. Otherwise, we are only getting paid from API because people are buying courses from API. The profit bonus, what is it? Profit consult, what is it? Profit investor consultant courses. Do you understand? But it's not everybody that's buying it. We need to get people and tell them that our company is about education in investments. Our company is about teaching people about finances. Do you want to become financially free? Give them the education. But we need to understand that we are not selling shares, guys. Let me be honest with you. We are not selling shares, okay? These tokens are given to us as a present for believing in the concept. That is why even the Hauchi people, they are getting dividends now because the companies that they are building and the village that they have developed has given enough money. Now they are enjoying what their fathers and their grandfathers built for them many years ago. They are living in luxurious homes. They are driving big cars. I'm not saying it will take as that long because our business is different. It's online. So everybody these days is doing things online. Do you understand? Is it making sense, leaders? Ma'am Maria, is it making sense so far? Tata Clarias, is it making sense?
Yes, my leader. Yes, it's making sense.
Is it making sense? Do you understand why we are doing Evosend? We're starting it from scratch. We are trying to bring each and everything inside our ecosystem, things that we need, things that will benefit us and our
Yes,
future.
Maddie, that's making sense. Yes.
Right. Leader tool. Is it making sense, my dear? Yes. I don't know. I need you guys, please unmute yourself. Let's just hear what you guys have to say.
Now I get it. I get the reason why every player must be brought onto the field so that he may in volume either hide out the book and then it's already put to know because now all systems are in place.
Exactly. So we've got the tenants, but the tenants cannot pay rent. We've got global unit pay, it's a tenant. We've got what? UG pay, we've got Eversend, we've got Evorich because it's also an entity. We've got Genius of Finance, we have API, we have NDE, we've got UGain. These are tenants, but these tenants need support from us. We need to buy from them first, us, and also get others to also buy and grow our community bigger. The difference between us and the example of that of Hauchi is that Hauchi is like, it's in a stable place. So they're only talking to the people in that vicinity, nobody from outside. Do you see? With us, we are a global company. So we want as many people to buy into this vision, to see the vision of the new economic evolution of the world, the ideology. We are building towards it. We are going to own everything. Remember, I said in the beginning that there's a lot of things that is there, they are in place. Otherwise, the economy wouldn't exist. But the only sad part is that it's not balanced. So the new economic evolution of the world is trying to balance things. The people that live in Hauchi, are they rich or poor, according to you?
They are focused. They are people with, what can I say?
A vision.
With sharp mind. There are people with sharp minds who know how to make things happen.
Exactly. But they were mentored, they were taught how to become like, because coming from a farmer, guys, what can you expect from a farmer? You expect them to be financially literate? No. But somebody had to instill that in them so that they can see the bigger picture of what is it that we are trying to achieve. Do you see? So now they learned something, and this something has changed their lives completely. Now they're living in big mansions. They're driving big cars. They're getting groceries for free. Their food is very cheap. You cannot be buying from your own Pick and Pay, buy food expensive. You can't. Because you are the founder of Pick and Pay. So you need to be having for your own community, buy them at a reasonable price. Do you see?
Yeah.
Leader Chul, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had some commitment after one, so I was forced to listen over the big speaker.
Okay.
I was hearing you, but I couldn't answer.
Okay, no problem.
I wanted to say that to all my team that I have recruited personally, I always tell them that if you want to achieve something in our system, they must give themselves a period of 5 years in order to see a difference. And in that period, they must continue to invest. They must be firm in their investment. That's when they're going to see the difference. Because with our mind that are installed in us, it's like if I put 20,000 rand, how much I'm going to get at the end of the month or after 2 weeks or in 5 days to come. That's what is installed in our heads because we are not financially literate. So I always tell them that they must take 5-year period plan and monthly invest 10% of their income. So it will make them to be disciplined, also to always be able to invest every time. Because once you do it the first year, the second year is possible, the third year, and the fourth one, it's coming naturally. So you know, no longer feeling the pain of investing. But now by that time, you will be able to see the difference in the time period is very important in the investment. Because you can't say, I put this money, where we're going to get the profits within that short period of time. So it's very, very important to have a goal and have a focus to know where from here, where are you going?
Well said, leader. Well said. Yeah. So the only, I'm happy with the way that you are doing it for your team. I'm very happy to know that at least somebody is instilling some discipline in their team and not misleading the people, because we marketers, we have the tendency of misleading people, promising them heaven and earth. When we need to deliver, we are goners. You understand?
Yeah, so I have that experience when people are asking, how? There is another top leader, a leader who's topper than you. He said you're going to get paid. I always ask them, okay, the leader said we're going to get paid dividend. What did I tell you? Is that 5-year period over? When was the last time you invested? So whatever, I try to tell them not to listen to any other person, but to focus on them and also know where they are going, to have a goal to achieve.
And I'm going to also encourage you to do this, my leader. Can you encourage them to go to their back offices and learn, even if they there's a lot of education that they have in their back office.
In news, my leader, in news, just news alone, even if they can't open the back office, because sometimes there are those videos in back office that they send you on YouTube, then they ended up not knowing whether they are in the right direction or not when they see YouTube in back office. But in news alone, they give a lot of information. A lot. Whenever you open your back office, there is some news. Those news, they are very informative.
So what I'm trying to drive at is to instill. I need to know you are teaching them, you are simplifying it for them, but also there's that important education in the back office that teaches them about the finance, that teaches them about investments, how investments work, because people thinking, this system that came, that had good intentions of helping people to become financially free, they at the same time did some injustice in the people's minds, because people now are thinking that get rich quick mentality. So it condemned the mindset. So people are lazy. They just want free money. They don't want to be patient with the process. They just want things to be done like this, instantly and spontaneously. That's not how money works. Go ask any person that's rich out there, how did they get there? You will get, it's very common stories that they have lost everything at some point. They started over again and they learned in the process. It wasn't an overnight thing. It wasn't a 2-month thing. It wasn't a 10-year, 5 months or 1 year thing or 2 years. That is why when people have these big lump sums from wherever the money is coming from, because they didn't work for it, they blow it. I don't watch TV, right? I don't watch TV for many years now. I don't watch TV, but I know there's programs called Bo, I blew it. Why? Because the person didn't take the time to make that money, to earn that money. So when it's something that you didn't earn, that you didn't put your effort into, it's easy for you to just waste it like that and forget and try to move on. And then tomorrow you are hungry again. You see? So that is why people get into these programs or these systems whereby they get scammed, because they are not patient. They are not patient with the process of becoming that person that they need to be, meaning an enterprise that you can do to help you to earn that income that you need. What is it that you can do? There's many ways to make money. You just need to find those ways. And we've got the education in our back office. We've got programs that are running like Evorich. Evorich is one of Evorich and any other project that we've done in the past. Those were money-making opportunities. You could unlock the cash flow. And when you use the education that comes with it, you will learn how to take that money that you are making and start acquiring assets that will help you to earn this passive income that you want. Passive income is money that you are not working for. Make your money work for you. You see, instead of taking the money and gambling. So it shows, it's very sad that a lot of people, they were misled into the business and how the business works, right? And number two, and it started from the top down. It didn't come from just an ordinary person or whatever. It came from the top down. It's just unfortunate. So, and when people, I start telling them and teaching them about the business, they don't like it because now I'm wiping off that mentality of getting rich quick. It doesn't exist. When you get rich quick, easy come, easy go. When something you've gotten it easy, it's easy for it to just vanish in your hands. It will just vanish. And you're asking yourself, what happened? You understand? So we want to like really start instilling that entrepreneurial mentality in our people because they need it. It's important for them so that they don't waste the money. And they will also know that, okay, meantime, I'm waiting for my dividends to be paid. What can I do to unlock this cash flow? Because you have to live every single day. We have shown in the Evorich presentations right now, there's a program called Evorich. People can make money now. People can grow in the company. And when you grow inside our own company, right, there's a lot of opportunities. Like job opportunities are there because these are real companies. Real companies, not just companies for the sake of it, because now we are seeing it's a new company that's coming. We are always creating companies. We are trying to eradicate poverty. How do we eradicate poverty? Is by creating those opportunities for our own community. And we are not hiring outside of Evorich community. As long as you can prove to them that you've got the skill that they need, and you can also prove to them that you are interested in this business. When you are interested, it shows that you having the business best interest at heart. You want to see the business grow. When the business grows, it means you have also grown in your own position. For instance, you are a user or a client or a partner. You now want to start growing from that position to becoming an agent. And when you become an agent, our company is giving you something. They're giving you a lot of these bonus tokens, Evorich bonus tokens. And I was telling Ulida Zota and Ulida Sydney yesterday that these tokens, I love the fact that they are not oversupplied. Unlike crypto unit, there was an oversupply. That's why the price of crypto unit keeps going down and down and down and down and up. It's so volatile because there isn't enough demand. But Evorich, there's going to be a big demand. Those that are not taking this one seriously, they're going to regret. Even if it means buy for yourself and not necessarily be active, at least have it. Then you will be grateful after that. Because it's a different kind of cryptocurrency. It's an NFT. Right? What is an NFT? It's a cryptocurrency that's kind of like copyrighted. It's something that cannot be copied. It's patented. You cannot copy it. You cannot copy the image of Mandela and create another Mandela. That's what I'm trying to say. You cannot create another image of Yvonne. Yvonne will always be Yvonne. There's never going to be another Yvonne besides this one. Do you see? So I'm patented in my own being. Tuli is Tuli. There can never be another Tuli that's similar to her. You understand? And now imagine when she is now sealed and protected and nobody can really penetrate and try to take or a person in what is it? From today's thing, I don't want to do a proper presentation like taking through the slides because it's overrated. It's done on an everyday basis. Do you see? I wanted it so that I can teach you something. I wanted to clear this air the questions that you've always been asking yourself. What is this business? Why are we not getting paid? I'm trying to answer your questions. Why are we not getting paid yet? Why do we even have to vote? Because if the money was there, us having to vote, that's what I'm trying to say. And watch, when they finally decide to pay those dividends, those profit bonus, right? Just check how much you're going to make. It's not going to be what you expect, because we are different in our portfolios. There's different amounts that we have. We are not having the same figure. Unlike the Hauchi villagers, they are treated the same because everybody earns the same. So they have all equally put in the equal effort into making the thing a success. The same with that example I was making of the mall. We are all contributing 1,000 per household. So we will be treated the same as the Hauchi community. So our dividends should be the same. But now with us, people contributed according to what they could, how much they can be active in this company and bring more people to come and buy into it. That's how we are uneven again. But with time, as long as people are open to learning, focusing on the education and learning from their leaders, it will make sense. We are getting there. I think I've said enough. Mr. Mjali, what's your take? Ndibu, Zoom user, what's your take on what I have taught today? Has it opened some eyes? Has it cleared some air?
Oh, network problem. Now,
you can just maybe close your video and leave your audio to speak, because the video will also contribute towards poor network. It's good to see you though. You can speak, sis. Yeah, it's a radio in the background. You can just speak. Okay, Clarius is the one that's having a radio in the background. Ndibu?
Hey,
Yes.
my leader, I'm at work. I didn't hear that much.
Okay.
But there is a lot that I've learned because I was just.
But I have shared the recording on the chat. Please check it out. It's on the chat there. Today's recording. Please listen to it when you get time.
I will do so.
Sorry?
I will do so.
Yes. Okay. And then Zoom user. Do you want to say something? Paula Nyanagangan. Jali, you are muted. Okay, I think we are way over time, but please listen to the video. I'm gonna close it. Okay. It's fine, my leader. It's okay. We understand. Okay, that's all I had to say to you today, guys. I hope it has shed some light as to what this business is. So I'm comparing it with everything else that you have heard that I've taught, so that you understand why things are happening the way they are. What business are we in? We are not here to play games. This is a real business. And your kids will be employed in these same companies. But you have to pave the way for them to be employed inside Evorich, inside Global Unit Pay, inside Evocent, inside all these beautiful companies that we have created. We have to pave the way for our kids. We have to secure their future. Do you see? What is it that we need to do? We need to learn about it. We need to pay attention to the education that comes with everything that's happening. We are learning. It's a learning curve for all of us, right? But there is some learnings, there's some lessons that we have to take from everything that's happening. And we have to open our mouths and teach as many people as we can. Nothing of this sort has been done, except for Hauchi. Nothing of this sort has ever been done. Guys, in South Africa, I have never heard of a mall that was built by a community. Only those people that have got money are able to buy or build the malls, and then you go and you support them, and you are making them even more rich. Your own mall is suffering, Evorich. It's not getting enough people. It's not educating enough people to be financially educated. It's just a pity that our CEO is Russian and we are not able to hear what he has to say, because maybe that there was some miscommunications of some sort. I don't know. So that's why he was misinterpreted, misunderstood by the previous leaders as to what exactly was he trying to accomplish with everything that he has put in place. You see. So I hope you have learned something. And tomorrow is Saturday. So at 10 a.m. Central African time, we will be having an open mic. I hope to see you guys there. Come with the questions in case you have heard something today and you are still having some gray areas. Jot those questions down. 10 a.m. tomorrow, I'll be at the office and then we can start talking again. All right. Thank you all for your time and have yourselves a good afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Bye-bye.